movement, and it's September the 6th, 2016. In this video, I'm talking about the coming global economy crisis because we're on the verge of it. Okay, folks? This first article is going to be links at the bottom. It's about the riots that erupt in Brazil and the streets of Rio and Sao Paulo, the largest city, as the president down there is being ousted. Okay? Also, the real reason is basically that's a smokescreen. Okay, the real reason has the Brazilian economy, which has failed to even see a token pickup in recent months, despite the change in the ruling administration. So I'm gonna have the links at the bottom. Also, I'm just saying this out loud, okay, folks? We had riots because the economy in Argentina collapsed. Greece a few years ago collapsed. Italy last year collapsed. A lot of countries around the world have been collapsing. Okay, before our dollar bill collapse, we're gonna see the collapse of the world economy because our dollar bill supports the world economy. All right, instead of happening all at one time, the banksters, the Federal Reserve, central bank, is taking it slowly but surely, but it's collapsing everything slowly. That's why we're seeing all these economies collapse. Even in Britain, Britain's economy is on the verge because Britain's about to exit the UK and the euro. Okay, folks, this link is going to be at the bottom. Britain's economy will suffer after the BRICS vote. The Prime Minister Theresa May. Okay, so that's going to be at the bottom. And what's crazy about that, folks, is that even Japan, our ally, even Britain's ally, Japan, okay, the link's going to be at the bottom. Japan's unprecedented warning to UK over the BRICS. Okay, folks. So they're warning that they're going to stop investing if Britain escapes from the European Union, and that's what Britain's doing, is ousting the European Union. So once they leave, Japan's going to take all their jobs and move. Okay, folks. Also, during the G20 in China, China's president of the G20 says world economy at risk, warns against protectionism. You're going to see that at the bottom. Okay, folks? What's crazy is that on October the 1st, 2016, all right, our government has announced a plan to pass the oversight of the agency of the global government's model on October the 1st, 2016. The Obama administration says that the transition will have no practical effect, all right? So they're handing over our internet, all right, the freedom of speech to the UN to ICANN, okay, folks? And on October the 1st, don't forget this, on October the 1st, 2016, China enters a global reserve currency status. Okay, folks, and that's big news. All right, once China becomes the global reserve currency, China's the second biggest economy in the world. We're number one, and we owe trillions and trillions of debt. We're in debt, while China's not in debt. The majority of our debt is owed by China. Okay, folks, I got more news on this. I'm going to have the link at the bottom. The SDR bond is starting to increase. Our dollar bill is the world's global reserve currency. China enters the market, one out of 6 countries, on October the 1st. The European Union is going to be out. Britain's be out, the pound. So that's 2. Now we're down to 4. Okay? Then you got the Japan yen that they're complaining about the European Union. All right? And we've already seen this around the world, but China, Russia, I'm going to have the links at the bottom. Last year, Russia, China got rid of the American bond, a lot of it, American dollars, okay? But this October, we're going to see Russia, China, going to build up the Chinese yen as the number one currency, all right? China also wants the SDR currency, which is a backup emergency currency. I'm going to read it. After the collapse of Bretton Woods system in 1973, the SDR was redefined as a basket of currency. Currently, the SDR basket consists of the US dollar, the euro, remember that's going out because of the European Union, Japanese yen, Japanese about to bail out and put it all in towards China, and the pound sterling that's in Europe, and they're gonna be out, and then the Chinese renminbi. The only two currency that's gonna be left in the world global currency is gonna be the Chinese renminbi and our dollar bill. They're gonna buy up all the SDR because they don't want the dollar bill to be the global reserve currency number one. They want their own paper money to be number one. So I'm gonna have all the links for the SDR. And it's not just that. At the G20, President Obama, when he landed, they made a mockery of him. Okay, this is the president of the most powerful country in the world. They didn't even give him a staircase to walk down. They made him exit out, emergency exit. Okay, Barack Obama received chilly welcome for G20 and 20. U.S. President Barack Obama arrived in China on Saturday for the G20 summit, but something unexpected happened while he was trying to exit Air Force One. Obama received an unpleasant greeting. All right, and you all done heard how they didn't want our people, they didn't want our journalists or nothing like that to go around Obama, and then our Secret Service had a confrontation with the Chinese service. Okay, folks. Also, the president of the Philippines called Obama a son of a bitch. Yeah, a son of a bitch. Then we're talking about Russia. So when the West, our country, United States of America, the most powerful country in the world, entered the G20, we were disrespected by China, we were disrespected by the Philippines, we were disrespected by Russia, and at the same time, North Korea fires 3 missiles towards the Japan Sea. All these links are going to be at the bottom while this was going on at the G20 meets, okay? And remember, North Korea's number one ally is China, all right? And I showed you the Dutch bank. All right, one of the biggest banks in the world that's in Europe is warning for a global meltdown, folks. The link's going to be at the bottom. Check this out. Dutch's bank admits it is preparing for market crash as fears over bailout grow. And this is in Europe, folks. Because the European Union, Germany, all that, man. That's a major bank. Okay? While President Obama was in China, they're talking about the South China Sea, okay? And the South China Sea, World War III alert. U.S. China prepare for war. Philippines sends grave warning. And then the Philippines just curse out Obama, okay? Spy agencies, okay? Spy agencies tweeted what happened and said some vulgar stuff. Let me read this post. Load up, folks. Spy agency tweets its way... Hold on, it just stalled up on me. 1 second, folks. Okay, spy agency tweets its way into Chinese TIF. A United States spy agency apologized for a tweet that jabbed at China over its treatment of American reporters who had traveled with President Barack Obama to cover the G20. Classy as always, China. Okay, now, on October the 1st, like I keep on saying, me and my wife were preparing. We're stocking up on food. There's nothing we could do. Okay, there's really nothing we could do. Okay, you just got to be prepared. You know, it's like our whole country is about to be forfeited. That's what it feels like. When the Chinese enter the global reserve currency, Russia, the Korea, Japan, all basically Asian, all the people are going to bail on the dollar bill as the world's global currency. They're going to back the SDR and the Chinese. All right. Also, China has cyber capability to take down U.S. power grid, warns national security. All right. And that's going to be at the bottom. And it doesn't, they talk about it. They said it's going to happen within the next 10 years. You know, they don't know when, but it's going to happen within the next 10 years. So check that out. Now, another breaking news. Now, this should be all over the news. I'm going to read this article out. All right. Hold on 1 second. China planted RFID chips and 11 million Happy Meal toys bound for the U.S. Okay. Washington, D.C. If you purchase a Happy Meal from McDonald's in the last 12 months, chances are the Chinese government is monitoring and recording your daily movements, according to the Department of Justice. That's our government. Chinese intelligence agency plan estimate 50 million radio frequency identification chips in products bound for United States last year. These chips have the ability to track individual movements in real time and transmit uninterrupted audio in some cases. Video back the sources. U.S. Attorney General Lynch said during a press briefing on Friday, following a 6-month joint investigation with the Department of State, we are able to determine the source of these chips originate at the Chinese Ministry of State Security. And it goes on, okay? So Happy Meal toys, it's not just Happy Meal toys. All electronics that we buy is made in China. Even your Apple iPhone has a chip in it that's made in China. Even our Samsung devices, all our computers, all our smart devices, all got that chip, okay? All it takes is when China is fed up and want their money back and they're entering the global reserve currency, all they have to do is push a button and all our electronic devices by EMP, electronic magnetic pulse, everything go off. And even, like I said, that's why I brought this up, China has cyber capability to take down U.S. power grid too. Okay, and our debt right now is at $19.5 trillion. One second, that was the wrong page. If the NASA study is correct, America has already crossed the Rubicon as the steady state collapse is difficult to avoid. Elites grow and consume too much, resulting in famine amongst commoners that eventually causes the collapse of society. And they're talking about Rome, but they're talking about how our economy is about to collapse. And that's from NASA. There's a lot of stuff going on, folks. Also, China mysterious oil stockpiles PUDs crude markets. They're buying millions of barrels, 1 million barrels. The link's going to be at the bottom. This is September the 5th, this article is written. Since last year, China been buying 1 million barrel of oil a day. For what? So they have reserve stockpile. Okay? They know something. We all know something's going to happen. Okay? Even though I don't agree with Trump, and Trump, trust me, is by far the craziest, but, you know, he is a businessman. He does have a company. So the Fed has created a stock bubble and a false economy to boost Obama. The link's going to be at the bottom, all right? And Donald Trump is way worse than any other president we have. So I do not support the guy, but I know he's a businessman, and he knows because he invested money. He's a billionaire. So, you know, there's a bubble. You know, our economy has a bubble, okay? And our economy, the Federal Reserve is keeping it by as low as possible and about to rate interest rates in December. If we make it in December, between the first 14 days of October, we're going to see a big change in the global economy. That's why the G20 happened. That was their main purpose. We got riots in Brazil, Argentina, and Europe. Okay, folks, the whole global economy is collapsing, but it's doing it so slow. All right, on October the 1st, we sell the internet. All right, to the UN, to ICANN. On October 1st, China becomes a global reserve currency. All right, they got implanted devices in children's toys, and they have recalls on it, right? And we got smartwatches. All right, that's right over your main vein in your arm. All they have to do is send an electronic pulse, and they can kill it. Okay, and all our devices, we got RFID chips, all made in China. All right, they got Chinese chips in almost everything we have. Anything electronical, anything smart, even in our cars, even in a made in America GM. I bet you the radio and the smart devices came from China. You know, pieces come from it. All right, and this is crazy, folks. I want everyone out there to be prepared. I'm gonna do another video on it. I know it wasn't that good. I just got so many articles on this stuff that we're coming to it, folks. I want everyone out there to be prepared. This is the No Face Movement. Moving till next time. Please like and subscribe. And this is a warning. Our economy is about to collapse. It's happening all around us. It's time to wake up, be prepared, buy water, stock up on food, stock up on a grill, on generators, on batteries to hook up to your house to turn on electricity. All right, folks, this is the No Face Movement. Moving till next time, facing off.